Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, in the state of Tennessee. Today date is early Sunday morning, June the 23rd, 2019. The time 2:45 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement support. I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in the Memphis tri-state area. I'll continue to further my education, Monroe College online, continue to pursue my social degree, study, being administrative, concentration on my age. At the present time, I took a break from going to school, but in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College online to continue to pursue my social degree, study, being administrative, concentration on my age. This year, in January of 2019, I enrolled at Health Tech Institute of Memphis. It's right here in the Memphis tri-state area in a medical assistant program, in a 9-month program. And the reason why I did that, because back in 2009, 2010, see, I was a student at Remington College, and I was enrolled in a medical building and coding program. I graduated with a diploma, but they didn't offer the certification as being included with the tuition. So if you don't have a certification, you can't be employed in the healthcare field. Excuse me. And so, and I still got to pay the student loan back. And so, like I said, this year, January of 2019, I enrolled at Health Tech Institute of Memphis in the medical assistant program, 9-month program. I graduated in October of this year, and I graduated with a diploma as well as with the certification. And then I'll be able to be employed in the healthcare field. I'll be able to go back. I'll be able to pay my student loan back. I'll be able to go back to Monroe College online, continue to pursue my social degree, study, being administration, concentration, marketing, as well as other degrees and so on. Now, being that this weekend in the United Nations. As you know, the United Nations want to continue to applaud the United Nations for all their efforts. And they this weekend, this week, World Refugee Day. So want to commend the United Nations for World Refugee Day. Now what I'm doing now, I'm doing my Instagram. And being that I gotta work this weekend, I do my video today, but I won't be making a video tomorrow. I won't be, because I'm gonna have to work. And so, like I said, I do my video today. I'm gonna do my Instagram, then I'm gonna do my Periscope. But tomorrow I won't be making my video because I gotta work tomorrow. So I'm doing my Instagram now. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, June the 23rd, 2019. The time 2:49 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement support. Anti-gang. Anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logos. Now, first, always give thanks to God. Always thank God for all the blessings and the guidance that He provides. God is always involved. Understand? That's the reason why I always say first thing, give thanks to God for all the blessings and the guidance He provides us all with. Now, we know there's no such thing as devil worship. There's no such thing as the devil being punished by God. And all those that offend and those that do iniquity being punished by God. See, there are people in God's word that He said that He's going to separate the goats and the sheep. You understand? The goats going to be punished, but the sheep going to be blessed. See, that's the most important. See, that's the important thing about it. Is that God going first, on one thing, punish those that being disobedient. But at the same, on the other hand, God is going to bless all those who've been obedient to His word. See, that's the reason why there's no such thing as no devil worship. There's no such thing. There's no such thing making up all these lies and talking about some old world secret society. See, God told you, I'm going to bless all those that be obedient to my word. So you make sure you remember that. Keep that in your mind. Now I want to commend the United Nations. I want to commend the United Nations for World Refugee Day. I want to commend the United Nations for World Refugee Day. Now I'm going to continue to complain. I'm going to continue to speak out. You understand? People saying they're in the gang and they're in the mob and all that. Then people put the word stir on the end of gang and mob. Like you smart. You understand? Now, Merriam-Webster's Third New International Dictionary gives you the complete and total definition meaning of the word gang, mob, stir, and any and every other word. And also Oxford English Dictionary, same thing, gives you the complete total definition meaning of the word gang, mobster, any and every other word. Now, and also people saying they're a boss, they're a goon, they're a thug, they're a crook, they're a hooligan, they're a mac, they're a player, they're a pimp, they're a whore, they're a hustler, you know, they're a nigga, field nigga, house nigga. You know, it's street slang. People all over the world communicate, use slang. Ain't nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now, examples of street slang, tic-tac-toe, for example. hopscotch. Now, when it comes to music, examples of street slang, hip hop, rock, roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, funk, doo, wop, beat, bop. Ain't nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now we can go to the quick reference, Wikipedia, and we can look up street slang for money, currency exchange. People all over the earth use money, use currency, and use exchange, and they make up street slang for money, currency exchange. Now here in the United States of America, examples of street slang for money, currency exchange: bucks, rack, stack, bands, bread, dough, scratch, loot, moolah, Benjamin, dead president. And nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. And now, me, I graduated high school with a high school diploma. And I got a few years of college under my belt, and Monroe College Online, pursuing social media studies, being administrative country marketing. But I took a break from going to school. I haven't earned my social media in business administrative country marketing as of yet. And like I said, I took a break. Now some people, they didn't graduate high school. They earned a GED. And then they went on, earned a social media, master's degree, PhD. And then you had those people who just didn't go that far in school, period. They just didn't go that far in school, period. And so, for whatever reason, they just didn't go that far. Well, you don't know reading, you don't know writing, you don't know math, and you don't know science, and you don't know technology, you don't know social studies, and you don't know vocational and technical training. Now, on-the-job training is on-the-job training. Sure. Then you have those people that did go far in school. They graduated from high school. They took the ACT and SAT, and they earned a social degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, and so on and so forth. The sorority and fraternity. Now, we know that the pre-13 colony history is very, very, very important. You don't negate the pre-13 colony history. It's very important. History is important. Now, Harvard University is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. William Mary College, Wilkesboro, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693. It's the second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December 5, 1776. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi First Sorority, founded in 1851, Wesleyan College, Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874, Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. Then you have the first women's fraternity. It was founded at DePaul College in 18 something. That's really why I intend to do that. But now the basis of the sorority and the fraternity is them old world secret societies. For example, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, and they be talking about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt. And between 1390 and 1425, mentioned in the Hollowell manuscript, in the Regent form, and the Cook manuscript. The Dowling manuscript. Now, examples of them old world secret society: Skull and Bones, the Rosicrucians, the Sons of Liberty, the Thug Society, the Prior Scion, the Ordo Templar Oriental, the Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Woodman, the Ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, the Improved Order of Redmond, the P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, the Freemason, the Elks, the Loyal Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Pythias, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Foresters Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druids, the National Grain, the Ancient Order of Herbalans, the Opus Dei, the Knights Templar, the Scottish Rite. I mean, it's just a few. It's a more. I mean, it's a more. The Spanish Garduna, the Carbonaria, the Black Hand. You say Mafia, it's Afro-Asiatic. You say Cosa Nostra, it's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osirica. I mean, it's just a few. It's a more, man. It's a more. And so, the sorority and the fraternity. Don't be misled by the sorority and the fraternity. They commit crimes on and off the college and university campus. They use hazing. The United States Department of Justice. Hazing is a crime. Hazing is a crime. And they use, and the sorority and fraternity use hazing as part of the initiation ritual. And those initiation rituals, devil worship. The sorority and the fraternity use initiation rituals, and those initiation rituals are devil worship. The occult. And the occult is devil worship. And what is devil worship? Some wannabe devil worship. You're a liar. And to be sin, S-I-N, sin. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. And so, and also, all this human sacrificing and animal sacrifices, and the sorority and fraternity, they use and abuse tobacco products, chewing tobacco, cigarettes, cigars. They put drugs in the cigarettes and the cigar. They indulge in gambling and games of chance. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activities, assault, rape, molestation. They lie, cheat, and steal. Burglary, robbery, extortion, bribery. What crime? Criminals. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. See, don't be misled by the sorority and the fraternity in the old world secret society. Just because the sorority and fraternity on a college and university campus, that don't mean they trying to do what's right, like they on a higher educational plane. They criminals. That's what they teach you, to be a criminal. And get out the sorority and fraternity. Don't join the sorority and fraternity. Discourage others from being involved in the sorority and fraternity. Expose the sorority and fraternity. Renounce all those that started the sorority and fraternity in them old world secret society. Denounce the whole concept, the idea of sorority and fraternity, them old world secret society. The sorority and fraternity, they work and they manage the businesses, companies, and corporations that use and abuse, they use and misuse the background check. And they commit crimes against humanity, atrocities. They violate human and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, and ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, and water, as well as noise pollution. They destroy the environment, they destroy nature, they destroy wildlife. Don't be misled by the sorority and the fraternity. The old world secret society. They're not trying to do what's right. They some wannabe devil worshippers. They sinners. They commit sin. They commit crimes. Criminals. It's sin. They sinners. It's sin. So you disobey Jesus Christ, the Son of God. He told you to repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Told you to repent. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. This is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, also the World Wildlife Fund. Now, just like those organizations we just mentioned, there are some more organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights, Frontline Defenders, Human Rights Without Frontiers, International Service for Human Rights. Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association, Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, the Rainforest Action Network, Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, the Conservation Fund, the League of Conservation Voters, Earthwatch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Oceanic Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. These are just a few. There are some more. There are many more organizations such as the one we just mentioned. They're trying to they're trying to stop all the crimes that the sorority and the fraternity, them old world secret society, that they commit. You understand? They can crimes. Excuse me. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocity. They violate human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, and water, as well as noise pollution. They destroy the environment, they destroy nature, they destroy wildlife. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity in them old world secret society. Don't be misled. They not trying to do what's right. They not trying to do. They some wannabe devil worship. Wannabe devil worship. They call themselves trying to do animal sacrifices, human sacrifice, just sacrifice spirit to the devil. To the devil. There's no such thing as worshiping the devil. Never has been, never will be. When we talk about human sacrifices, a person that drink alcohol, that use and abuse alcohol, a person that use and misuse tobacco products, a person that use and misuse drugs, you know, I'm talking about intoxicant drugs, narcotics, human sacrifice, crimes like murder, rape, the abortions at the abortion clinic. It's human sacrifice. It's a human sacrifice. It's human sacrifice. And it's all kind of forms. Suicide. Person committing suicide. Now some people have issues, but I'm telling you, man, some people, they don't have those type of depression now and then. You know what I'm talking about. They don't have depression or something like that, but they be going by this so-called literature, the sorority and the fraternity that want to be devil worship stuff. They'll kill themselves. They'll commit suicide, sacrifice to the devil. Yeah, they will. Animal sacrifice, just like poaching. These people that be doing all this poaching, they some want to be devil worship. That's what they are. They want to be devil worship. People taking their pets to the pound, to the local pound, to be euthanized, and then now you had a humane society, and the humane society is trying to keep these animals from being euthanized. They try to find them a home, and they try to be humane to the animals. Well, see, that's the reason. That's the reason why there's a humane society, because of the inhumanity that we as humans be showing toward the animals, being inhumane to the animals. True. So that's what it's animal sacrifice. Want to be devil worship. Want to be devil worship. And see, the want to be devil worship. See, there's no such thing as no gang and mob on the East Coast, because see, them old world secret society, all this stuff about the criminal street organization, the gang and mob and all that. See, this would be why the pre-13 colony history is so important. So important. When there wasn't no slaves over here, even when it was just the Native Americans, the first Americans in this part of the world, in what they call the New World. It was just the Native Americans and first Americans. And then you had people that came from Europe and the pirates. The explorers came first, who were exploring the New World. And then the settlers came behind the explorers. Well, see, they came in contact with the first American and the Native American, and the atrocities that were perpetrated against the first American and Native Americans. And later on, the pirates started all this slave transporting slaves. We'll see over there in Cilicia and Tarsus, what they call modern day Turkey today. See, that part of the world you can consider as being a base for the pirates. they was involved in a lot of slave trading in Cilicia, in Tarsus, and throughout that Mediterranean, it was a lot of pirates, and then behind that slave trade, you had the East African slave trade, and then behind the East African slave trade, you had the West African slave trade. And that's when you start seeing all these African slaves being brought from sub-Saharan Africa to Niger Congo, people being transported as slaves to the New World. First to the Caribbean and Central and South America. And then the first slaves that came to North America, the pirates ran out of supplies. And they had to divert their ship came up the coast, the coast, and they landed in Virginia somewhere, and they wanted to trade slaves for supplies. The first slave that came to North America came from Angola. They came from Angola. And after that, it was just bringing all kind of slaves to the East Coast. And later on, in the southern states, you had slave ports in Galveston, Texas. You had slave ports in New Orleans, Louisiana. The state of Mississippi had slave ports. The state of Alabama, the last slaves from sub-Saharan Africa came to the state of Alabama. Now the state of Florida had slave ports on both sides of the state of Florida, and also Veracruz, Mexico, was a slave port. And when they come to the East Coast, see, they want to be devil worshipping pirates, and see the so-called gang mob and all that came from the old world, then came to the new world. That's where all these words came from. These slang terms came from, like gang and mob and boss and goon and thug and crook and hooligan and mac and player and pimp and whore and hustler and nigger. That's where all that stuff came from. Cause see, there's no such thing as the East Coast being a gang base or a mob base. There's no such thing riding around on no motorcycles talking about you in a gang and a mob. Chicago, Illinois, them same criminals that came to the East Coast, they went to the Midwest, and when you say Illinois, that is Native American. It's Native American. It's the Native American First in America. Chicago, same thing. It's Native American. And it was the same criminals. There's no such thing, no folk gang, no my people gang. It's no such thing. They made it up. It was the same criminals. There's no such thing as Los Angeles, California being some kind of gang or mob base. There's no such thing. It was the same criminals from the East Coast that came from the old world, the new world. Came from the old world, and they came to the new world, and on the East Coast, and that's where all that street slang and all that stuff came from. But there's no such thing as no blood gang, no crip gang, no stone gang, no such thing. There's no such thing. No such. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. Some wannabe devil worship. Wannabe devil worship. Trying to do animal sacrifices and human sacrifice. No such thing. It's worshiping the devil. It never has been, never will be. Never has been, never will be. Now this is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. Now state names are Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says see also. And this is a list of place names of indigenous origin in the Americas. Now, you know, when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you know you have all these references. You know, of the list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. Then you scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says references. Then you see all these references that you can refer to. And then, you know, when you read a book, you know, and when you go to the back of a book, quite natural. All of us that have read a book does have references in the back of the book. We know that, right? Okay. All right. And you know, the same thing for the list of place names of indigenous origin in America. You can scroll down and there are references. You know, there are references in those books. Like I say, when you read a book, you go to the back of the book. In that book, there are references that the writer referred to. So and also piracy and the pirates. Okay, and so So piracy. It's piracy. And piracy is wannabe devil. They don't want to be devil worshippers. They want to be devil worshippers. There's no such thing worshiping the devil. Now I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom here. Now you know you had the etymology, you had the history of piracy, the culture and social structure, and then you have let me see also. Scroll down, see also, and it says a general history of the pirates. It's a historical book on pirates, and let me see here. Okay, and then you have your references. So there's references. And see, like I said, when you read a book, all books have a reference. They have references. Okay, references. And then here they have further reading. They have some more reading. Okay. So, like I say, that's piracy. And so when we talk about the references, for example, when we talk about the history of street gangs in America, you understand? You can go scroll all the way down to the bottom. There are references, there are books that you can refer to. And then when you read those books, it's going to be information there for you to refer to. Now you know Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, a liar, murderer, the devil. He was lying about saying he was an apostle. He wrote all those epistles. That was wrong. Then he called himself an apostle. That's wrong. It's just all sin. It's sin. S-I-N. It's sin. The sinner. And the Catholic Church. And organized crime, wannabe devil worship. The Latin Rite, the Alexandrian Rite, Armenian Rite, Byzantine Rite, the East Syrian Rite, West Syrian Rite. And then you had the Protestant Reformation Movement Church in the 95 Theses. That's the Catholic Church. That's the Catholic Church. And they have major branches, minor branches, interdenominational movement, other developments. Then you have related movements. And it's, like I said, it's the Catholic Church. It's the Catholic Church. It's organized crime. Some wannabe devil worship. And then you have the American Restoration Movement, Stone Campbell Movement. There again, it's the Catholic Church. Some wannabe devil worship. It's organized crime, wannabe devil worship. The Churches of Christ, the unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ Congregation, the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. And you know, they talking about going back to the 1st century. And Saint Ignatius of Antioch, he wrote several letters. One of the letters he wrote to the Smyrnaeans, he put the phrase Catholic Church in that letter. And then after that, in front of 50,000 plus fans at the Roman Coliseum, Saint Ignatius of Antioch was eaten alive by lions. And also you have these man-made religious groups, organizations. organized crime, some want to be devil worship. The Mormons, Scientology, people like David Koresh, people like Jim Jones, all these different cults, and you know, like these polygamous groups, and you have groups like the Zoroastrians. They had a prophet. Islam. They have the Sunni Muslim, Prophet Muhammad. The Shiite Muslim, Prophet Ali. The Baha'i, they had a prophet. The Sikhs, you know, they had a prophet. Then you have groups like the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, the American Muslim Society, and you know, Khalid Muhammad was a member of the Nation of Islam, affiliated Nation of Islam, and he started the new Black Panther Party. And you have groups like the Black Hebrew Israelites, the Rastafarian movement, and then you have all these Pan-Africanists. Some want to be devil worship. Some want to be devil worship. Now, all these man-made religious groups, organizations, they use those epistles that Saul wrote. Paul, the Apostle Paul wrote. One epistle that they use in Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the holy kiss. The church with the suffix ES. The churches of Christ salute you. Now another verse that the man-made religious organizations use, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix ES, churches of God, for your patience and faith and all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, these are a list of occult terms from A to Z. List of occult symbols. Now, these are world religions and occult symbols. And these are occult symbols. as you can see, some wannabe devil worship. No such thing as devil worship. No such thing as devil worship. The devil being punished by God. And all those that listen to the devil, God gonna punish you just like he punished the devil. But the thing about it is this: there are people who not listening to the devil. And God said in his word, I'm gonna reward you. I'm gonna bless you for being in heaven for life eternal. And after I end my Instagram video, I'm gonna do my Periscope video. And since I gotta work this weekend, I won't be making my video tomorrow night. Tomorrow, next day. And for that reason, because I gotta work. So like I said, when I end my Instagram video today, I'm gonna do my Periscope video. And as you know, my YouTube channel is recording. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logos. I just ended my Instagram video, so now what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna do my Periscope video. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, state, in the state of Tennessee. Today and date is early Sunday morning, June the 23rd, 2019. The time 3:52 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support, for you continue to encourage support. Anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. Now, remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. I just ended my Instagram video, and my YouTube channel is recording. Now, I'm doing my video this weekend today, but because I have to work, I won't be doing my video tomorrow. So this week, so like I said, this weekend I'm doing my video today, and I'm gonna continue to complain. I'm gonna continue to speak out. People be saying they are gang. They say they are mob, and then they put the word stir on the end. You know, Merriam-Webster Third New International Dictionary and Oxford English Dictionary give you the complete total definition meaning of the word gang and mob and stir and any and every other word. And then people be saying they are boss, they are goon, they are thug, they are crook, they are hoodlum, they are mac, they are player, they are pimp, they are whore, they are hustler. They say they are nigga. Feel nigga, house nigga. It's street slang. Street slang. Nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. People all over communicate and use language. Now, examples of street slang: tic-tac-toe, hop and scotch. Now, examples of street slang for music: hip and hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, funk, doo, wop, beat, bop. It's street slang. None official, none right about no street slang. We can go to Wikipedia, the quick reference. We can look up money, currency exchange. People all over there use money, currency exchange, and they make up street slang for money, currency exchange. Now, examples of street slang for money, currency exchange here in the United States of America: bucks, rack, stack, bands, bread, dough, scratch, loot, moolah, Benjamin, dead presidents. None official, none right about no street slang. And and like I say, and none official right about no street slang. It's street slang. You made it up. Now, I graduated high school. I earned a high school diploma, and I do have some years of college under my belt, but I haven't earned my social media and business administrative concentration marketing yet from Monroe College Online. I do intend to go back to Monroe College Online and earn my social media and business administration concentration marketing. Now, you have some people, they didn't graduate high school and they earned a GED, and then they went on to college and earned a social media bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD. And you know, you have those individuals that took the ACT and the SAT, and they graduated from high school, and they went on to college and earned their social media bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD. The sorority and the fraternity. Now now you have some people that just didn't go to fine school, period, and they didn't earn, no type of diploma or anything. But and then you don't know reading, you don't know writing, you don't know math, you don't know social studies, you don't know vocational and technical training. On-the-job training is on-the-job training. Now, let me get back, going back to the sorority and fraternity. That's the reason why the pre-13 colony history is so important. The pre-13 colony history is so important. Now, Harvard University, oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693. Second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society founded December the 5th, 1776. The College of William and Mary, recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi first sorority founded in 1851, Wesleyan College, Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874, Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. And the first women's fraternity, DuPont College, 18-something. Now the basis of sorority fraternity, them old world secret societies. The Eastern Stars and Freemasons, for example. They talk about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt, 1390-1425, mentioned in the Hollowell manuscript, the Regent's poem in the Cook manuscript. And also the Dowling manuscript. Now, examples of them old world secret societies: Skull and Bone, Rosicrucian, the Sons of Liberty, the Thug Society, the Private Scion, the Order of Templar Oriental, Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Women, the Ancient Arrogant Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, the Improved Order of Redmond, the P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, the Freemason, the Elks, the Lower Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Matthias, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forest Society, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druids, the National Grange, the Ancient Order of Hermannans, the Opus Dei, the Knights Templar, the Scottish Rite. I mean, just a few. There's some more. The Spanish Garduna, the Carbonarian, the Black Hand. You say Mafia, that's Afro-Asian. You say Cosa Nostra, that's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osiris. And just a few. There's some more. And so don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. And the sorority and fraternity, and they commit crimes on and off the college and university campus. Hazing is a crime. The United States Department of Justice. Hazing is a crime. The sorority and fraternity use hazing as part of the initiation ritual. The initiation ritual that the college and university, that the sorority and fraternity on the college and university campus is wannabe devil worship. There's no such thing as worship no devil, but there's some wannabe devil worship. That's what they are. They wannabes. You know, they those human sacrifices, just like the abortion clinic, human sacrifice, drugs, alcohol, human sacrifices. All type of crimes that people commit is a sacrificing to the devil. That's what it means. We're sacrificing to the devil. Then you think about animal sacrifice. People taking their pets to the pound to be euthanized. Now we have a humane society. And the humane society, they'll try to find an adoptive parent for the dog or the cat or the pets in general. And we're gonna keep working. Now this is the International Bill of Human Rights. And this is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. And so just like those organizations we just mentioned, there's some more organizations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline, Defending Human Rights Without Frontier, International Service for Human Rights. And also Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, the League of Conservation Board, Earth Watch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, the Biodiversity a Nature Conservancy Association Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the International Rainforest Conservation Organization Rainforest Alliance, the Rainforest Action Network. And also Biodiversity International Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Peace, Friends of Nature and Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Oceanic Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. So there are many more organizations. And don't be misled by the sorority and the fraternity. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. They commit crimes on and off the college and university campus. They use and abuse tobacco, chewing tobacco, cigarettes and cigars. They can put drugs in the cigarettes and the cigars. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They use and abuse in games of chance. They indulge in immoral activities. Burglary, robbery, lying, stealing, cheating. It's just many more things that they try to do. They indulge in immoral activities. Burglary, robbery, lying, stealing, cheating. Just many sin. And also they indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. See, don't be misled by the sorority and the fraternity, because they're on a college and university campus. The sorority and the fraternity, they work and manage these businesses, companies, and these corporations. And they use and misuse the background check. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocities. They violate human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, and ethnic cleansing. All forms of discrimination and right. They pollute the air, ground, water, as well as noise pollution. They destroy the environment, nature, and wildlife. So don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Now, this is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New Mexico, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. And let me scroll down. Oh, we went too far. Okay, see also. Now, this is a list of place names of indigenous origin in the Americas. Now, this is a list of place names of Native American origin. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, scroll down. Let me see. Okay, list of place names of indigenous origin in America. Now let's go to piracy. Now we're gonna go to piracy. Piracy. You know, pirates. Now, when it comes to the piracy, we had the etymology of piracy, we had the history of piracy, culture and social structure of piracy. Let's see here. Okay, see also, it said here a general history of the pirates. You know, all these various, like even today. Then you have all these references. When you read a book, you know, in the back of the book, there are references in the back of the book to refer to. have some more books you can read. They said further reading, you can have more books to refer to. And so, like I say, piracy. And then, when we think about like the history of gangs in America, when you scroll down to the bottom, there are books you can refer to. And then when you read those books, based on the references in the back of the book, then you can go to refer that information. And so don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. They commit crimes on and off the campus. And they also commit crimes. And they also commit crimes against humanity, atrocities, violation of human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, discrimination, and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, and water. And so, like I said, they commit crimes against humanity, atrocity, violation of human rights and civil rights, and then inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. And they pollute the air, ground, and water, where there's noise pollution. And then they destroy the environment, they destroy nature, they destroy wildlife. See, don't be misled by the sorority fraternity. Don't let the sorority fraternity, them old world secret society, that's the basis of the sorority fraternity. They do animal sacrifice and human sacrifice. For example, human sacrifice, the abortion. Using and abusing alcohol and drugs. You can overdose. It's a crime. It's a crime. So don't be misled by the sorority fraternity being on and off the college and university campus. The Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is organized crime, devil worship, Latin rite, Alexandrian rite, Armenian rite, Byzantine rite, East Syrian rite, and West Syrian rite. The Protestant Reformation Movement Church, 95 Thieves, that's the Catholic Church. Organized crimes, from wannabe devil worship. Protestant Reformation Movement, 95 Thieves movement. We have major branches, minor branches, interdenomination movement, other developments, as well as related movements. It's organized crime, so wannabe devil worship. The American Restoration Movement, Stone County movement. And so the Churches of Christ, the unaffiliated Christian Church, disciples of Christ. Because like I said, it's the Churches of Christ, the unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ, Congregation of Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. And then you have, there's organized crime, wannabe devil work. Then you have all these wannabe devil worshippers walking around in the parking lot. The Moorshine Temple, the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, and Cali Mahone. And then the five, like I said, more signed to the Nation of Islam, 5% Nation, the American Muslim Society, and then what's his name? Khalid Muhammad. He was affiliated with the Nation of Islam. He started a new Black Panther Party. And then you have all these various Black Hebrew Israelite groups. For example, Ben Ami over there in Israel, and the Rastafarian movement, and then all these Pan-Africanists, all this wannabe devil worship, and let's see how and then you have all these other like Scientology, the Mormons, people like Jim Jones, David Koresh. Now you have Islam, Sunni Muslim, Prophet Muhammad, the Shiite Muslims, Ali, and then the Zoroastrians, they had a prophet. And then the Baha'i, they had a prophet. And the Sikhs, they had a prophet. Now you know Saint Ignatius of Antioch, he wrote several letters. And one of the letters that Saint Ignatius of Antioch wrote, he wrote the phrase Catholic Church. He wrote the phrase Catholic Church. And so Saul from Tarsus, self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. He wasn't no apostle. He wrote all those epistles, and those epistles are not to be read, because he was a sinner. Now one of the verses that that Saul from Tarsus, self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, he wrote, calling himself an apostle. Romans chapter 16, verse 16. See, the man-made religion was they used these verses. Salute one another with an holy kiss. The church with the suffix ES. Or Christ salute you. Then you have another Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix ES. Church is a God for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, this is the Catholic Church and their particular church. this is a list of occult terms from A to Z. Now this is a list of occult symbols. Now these are world religions and occult symbols. Now these are the occult symbols. And so don't let the sorority fraternity mislead you. And them old world secret society, because that's what those were. All that's that old world secret society to want to be devil worship. No such thing as being no devil worship. God gonna punish the devil and all those that offend and do iniquity, but God gonna bless. God gonna bless the obedient. He gonna bless you with life eternal. Now, get out of the sorority fraternity and don't join the sorority fraternity. Discourage others from having any involvement in the sorority and fraternity. Expose the sorority and fraternity. And them old world secret society. Now, renounce all those that began and started the sorority and fraternity, them old world secret society. And denounce the whole concept and idea of a sorority fraternity. And like I say, when it comes to those books, just like when we went to Wikipedia, to the quick reference Wikipedia, and the list of place names of Native American origin, a list of places of indigenous origin that's down in Central and South America. And could be Mexico. And so we're going to applaud the United Nations on World Refugee Day. World Refugee Day. Now see, that's the reason why there's no such thing as no gang or mob on the East Coast. No such thing. There's no such thing, no devil worship. There's no such thing. And so, all the information on Wikipedia, you gotta scroll down to the bottom where it say references. You see all those books, and when you take the time to actually read all those books, now all those who watch my video, you can go to BibleGateway.com. Now, when it comes to the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 through 25, Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 23, Luke chapter 1, verses 80, and Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 52. The Lord's Supper. Matthew chapter 26, verses 26 through 29. Mark chapter 14, verses 22 through 25. Luke chapter 22, verses 15 through 22. The Lord's Prayer, Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. Luke chapter 11, verses 2 through 4. The Beatitudes read Matthew chapters 5, 6, and 7. And Luke chapter 6, verses 20 through 49. Now, John the Baptist, Matthew chapter 3, verse 1 through 17, emphasize verses 11 through 17, Mark chapter 1, verse 1 through 11, emphasize verses 7 through 11, Luke chapter 3, verse 1 through 22, emphasize verses 16 through 22, John chapter 1, verses 15 our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, teaching in the synagogue. Matthew chapter 4, verses 23. Mark chapter 1, verse 21. Luke chapter 4, verse 15. And John chapter 6, verse 59. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, begins his ministry. Matthew chapter 4, verses 12 through 25, emphasize verses 23 through 25. Mark chapter 1, verses 14 through 45, emphasize verse 14. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, begins his ministry. Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 through 12. Matthew chapter 4, verses 12 through 25, emphasize verses 23 through 25. Mark chapter 1, verses 14 through 45, emphasize verse 14, 39 through 45. Luke chapter 4, verses 14 through 44, emphasize verse 15, 43, and 44. John chapter 1, verses 35 through 51. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he chose 12 disciples. Matthew chapter 10, verses 1 through 42. Mark chapter 3, verses 13 through 35. Luke chapter 6, verses 13 through 49. And John chapter 6, verses 59 through 71. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he established the one church. The one church. Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 19, and Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 through 20. It's one church, one. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, gives his apostles commission. Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. Mark chapter 16, verses 14 through 20. In Luke chapter 24, verses 44 through 49, and John chapter 21. The death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God. Matthew chapter 26, verses 1 through 75. Matthew chapter 27, verses 1 through 66, emphasize verse 50. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he took his body down from the cross. And also verses 57 through 60. Matthew chapter 28, verses 1 through 20, emphasize verses 16 through 20. Mark chapter 14, verses 1 through 72, and Mark chapter 15, verses 1 through 47, emphasize verse 37, Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, took his body down from the cross. And also verses 43 through 70. Luke chapter 22, verses 1 through 71, and Luke chapter 23, verses 1 through 56. Emphasize verse 46. Verse 46. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God. And also emphasize verses 50 through 56. Luke chapter 24, verses 1 through 53. Emphasize verses 44 through 53. In John chapter 17, verses 1 through 26. John chapter 18, verses 1 through 40. John chapter 19, verses 1 through 42. Emphasize verse 30. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, took his body down from the cross. Also verses 38 through 42 in John chapter 20, verses 1 through 31. In John chapter 21, verses 1 through 25. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, He gives us a powerful commission. Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 to 20. Mark chapter 16, verses 14 through 20. Luke chapter 24, verses 44 through 49. And John chapter 21. Let me try to do this. Now, the United States government, like governments all over the earth, enact laws that intend to make all of us safe from crime, organized crime. The United States government enacted the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970. In Title 9 of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970 is the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, the RICO Act. The Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, as well as other related legislation. Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and Comprehensive Gang Model, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Justice Program, and the United States Department of Justice. The Office of Justice Program, Bureau of Justice Assistance, United States Department of Justice, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, and Project Safe Neighborhood, United States Department of Justice. Office of Community Oriented Policing Services. And also the United States Department of Justice, Office of Community Oriented Police Service, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, Bureau of Justice Assistance, the International Narcotics Law Enforcement Affairs, the United States Department of State Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistant Education and Training Grade Program, the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice, the Office of Justice Program. In October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which has been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, since 1995, merged with the National Gang, with the national gangs in which have been funded by the Bureau of Justice System. And this is the National Grain Center. The National Gang Center compilation of state laws against gangs. Gang prevention. The Old Bureau Research Program. Mr. James C. Howe, Office of Juvenile Justice, Delinquency Prevention. The United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Juvenile Justice, Delinquency Prevention, National Gang Center Bulletin. And the title of that bulletin, History of Street Gangs in the United States. Now you okay. The United States Department of Justice, Office of the United States Attorney Manual 1457, Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521, the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center, the United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section. There'll be other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies. Prevention, intervention, suppression. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies. Prevention, intervention, assessment, and suppression. The United States Department of Justice and the United States Department of Education. The United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor. The National Forum Youth Violence Prevention Forum. You can go to the National Youth Prevention.forum.com. You'll see changing course, preventing gang membership. The United States Department of Justice, the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing, and the United States Department of the United States Department. You go to youth.gov, be informed about the National Forum Youth Violence Prevention Forum, as well as the comprehensive anti-gang and the comprehensive gang model. The United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice, Assistant National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs, and also strive to reduce youth violence everywhere. Now, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm finna end this video, cause it'll be part 1, and it's gonna be dated June the 23rd, 2019, part 1. So just give me just a brief moment.